While everybody's trying to kiss the royal ring of Obama, Russia is taking out the U.S. one brick at a time. And I don't mean a tiny brick. I mean a big, huge Egyptian pyramid brick at a time. What are they doing now? Organic wheat. Wheat exports to the Middle East. Oh, you just thought we went over there and killed people over in the Middle East? No, we created the Middle East and set them up so that we could export to them. Now, we have all sorts of subsidies in the Farm Bill, which actually goes to ensuring that the GMO crops are producing and producing well. But two things are going on. Of course, I always want to present you, when I give you this sort of news, I want to present you with a spider web version of the news and not this whole black, white, either or, on, off. Several issues. I'm going to just mention a few. If you're interested, you'll go look the rest up. Russia and Canada are out exporting U.S. farmers in wheat. And I want to say something about global warming here. While we're trying to say global warming is man-made and so forth and so on, my brief experience with being a freight broker agent is teaching me about farming. We're having bumper crops in grapes, bumper crops in wheat, bumper crops in certain fruits and vegetables, because of the longer period of warmth that's going on. It has nothing to do with man-made, because the other planets are also warm. It has everything to do with a great big ball of molten lava spewing forth nuclear power to the planets that surround it, which you should be worshiping. If you're going to worship something, you should be worshiping that thing, not some white guy with a beard. Bumper crops means Canada is out exporting the United States. And right now, Russia stands at number 1. The Ukraine stands at number 5. The U.S. is number 3. Yes, tiny little Ukraine is close to out exporting the United States. And here's the real kicker. Russian organic wheat seeds are on the market. The U.S. doesn't have anything because all of the U.S. seed is corrupted by GMO. There have been studies about GMO. It causes cancer. It causes brain lesions. It causes all sorts of crazy, messed up stuff, but we actually pay for it here. Europe banned all GMO long time ago. But they're so up in Washington. Obama is now a hundredaire, meaning he's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. He entered the White House being worth $1 to $2 million. Now, all of you people go, oh yeah, Obama, he's done so much. He's done so much for you, really? That's because you get your news from idiots who treat you like idiots. I'm not going to treat you like an idiot. He hasn't done anything for you. And this whole Republicans are blocking him. Republicans are applauding him, have been patting him on the back. Why? Because they get fed from the same exact pig trough that he gets fed from. The people in charge are feeding both of them. They say what goes. If you're too naive, I'm not going to insult you because you all get all offended when I call you stupid or ignorant. I want to wake you up. I want to slap you in the face and go, look, these people you vote for aren't in charge of anything. This campaign right now, talking about Trump and what's his name, Cruz, stealing entire states without a vote. Does it not clue you in? Did Jeb Bush's campaign not clue you in that Jeb Bush didn't actually want to run? He actually said before he ran, I'm not going to run for president. And the Bushes themselves said There doesn't need to be another Bush in a White House. This is coming from the Bushes. Then all of a sudden, Jeb Bush is running for president. That should clue you in that these people aren't even in charge of their own lives. Somebody else is saying, "Thus saith the Lord," and they jump to it. Bush stayed in even at 1% going into the first primary and got paid millions and millions and millions of dollars. Obviously, that was funneled through him. And Monsanto isn't the only GMO company. There's several. There's quite a few that you haven't heard. It's not on the news, but for whatever reason, Monsanto is on the news. You know their name. It's like a household name, probably because they developed Roundup. But even so, they're not even the only GMO company out there. Now, Russia's exporting organic wheat seeds. We can't even export it, so we get a big fat zero in that department. And nobody will take our seed. Why? Because the GMO contaminates even the seed that's organic. You can buy Russian organic seed, but once you plant it into U.S. soil, it gets contaminated by the U.S. GMO wheat, by the wind, and you're done for. And just as a kick in the pants, Monsanto and friends come traipsing over to your farm and say, "You owe us money. You have GMO wheat." I don't have GMO wheat. I have Russian organic wheat. Nope. We took a sample from your yard. You can't be on my yard. Regardless, we took a sample from your yard. It's now GMO. You owe us millions of dollars. Pay up. Oh, you can't pay up? Okay, we're taking your farm. And that is how the U.S. is run. And the more that we, of course, cater to this craziness, the more Russia, China, Eastern Europe is stepping up to the plate. For all of those places that can't grow wheat, they're stepping up to the plate. Canada is in the number 2 spot. Canada, which normally has a very short growing season, but thank God to the lovely sun, which has extended its growing period on the planet Earth. You all are being tricked into this whole man-made global warming. Oh, it's such a lie. Why is Pluto warming? Explain that to me, all of you supporters. Why is Uranus warming? Why is Neptune warming? Why is Mars warming? Venus warming? Why is the moon warming? Is that man-made too? Huh? What? I can't hear you? What? Yeah, you're a bunch of idiots. There's a big, huge sun in the sky. Big, huge, reddish, yellowish. Nuclear fission is going on every second. Ever heard of it? Solar power? Ever heard of that? Wow. Anyway, as a afterthought, Russia's also called into task the U.S. military operations on the borders of Russia. They've called out NATO, and NATO is taking a look at the United States operations. It's trying to goad Russia. Russia, not want to back down, has also stepped up to the plate and has their military right on their border too. For what? For what? Probably something about the banks, or probably about the Monsanto, something like that. Something that has nothing to do with fighting for freedom. How can we be fighting for freedom in Russia, in China? You all keep sending your sons and now daughters, idiots, over to die for something that has nothing to do with keeping America free. Absolutely nothing. Russia is not sending anything over here. China is not sending anything over here other than buying U.S. dollars, other than keeping Walmart afloat, other than keeping the U.S. economy afloat, other than keeping the Federal Reserve afloat, other than keeping Wall Street afloat, and thereby all of the other banks, central banks in Europe afloat. That's what China is doing. That's what Russia is doing for you. And you're answering them with, let's go to war because we want to take their stuff. This is not civilization. And by that meaning, you humans aren't civilized. And these people that you keep voting in aren't civilized. There's not a civilized one among them. And Russia is saying, no, Monsanto is not the way to go. Taking bribes from Monsanto is not the way to go. People want organic food. Now we're stepping up to the plate with organic seed. Organic wheat exports, #1 exporter in the world. What do you do in the United States? Thank you for watching the Shakaama Live Show.